ជំរាបសួរបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាสวัสดีครับ Thai brothers and sisters and Laos brothers and sisters. And if you're clicking this channel, this link, this vlog, just know that you just promoted yourself to being a Cambodian. And since Cambodians are so good at making you feel like family, I want to go ahead and extend that. Today, we are going to talk about white phosphorus. But before I start, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you who subscribe, brothers and sisters. And ever since this conflict started, it only exposed Thailand. And it united us, command brothers and sisters. And we are so much stronger because we stand together and we stand tall. And I'm going to give you all the information I can so that you will never have to second guess yourself, because knowledge is power. And they're going to try to deflect you. They're going to try to give you all this information and just confuse you. So that's why I want to make sure we teach each other, we educate each other, because I learned so much from you, brothers and sisters. You guys are the real MVPs. So without further ado, let's start. I want to show you this video real quick. She's just flipping everybody, huh? Yeah. Let me flip everybody. Let me flip the Thai protesters. Yeah. Can end that video real quick. This is freaking hilarious, man. You see how if Cambodians would have did this, let's say the situation was reversed and Cambodians did this, Thai would have a field day. They would take on social media. Oh, look at the staging. Look how fake it looks. That's what they would say. And they've been one step behind, always deflecting. They've been on the defense. And I told you, every time their government counters, it just shows that they have something to hide. And they had to manufacture this war because they're fighting a war on identity. They taught their Thai citizens a history, a fabricated history. They took from Laos, they took from everybody, took from Cambodia, and then they try to make this culture, right? And then they taught their Thai citizens. And then in the day and age of information, they can't lie no more. But they can't help eating the papaya salad with the extra bullshit. They can't stop. It's so addicting. And I'm going to start with this article from this Thai guy, DHDH365. Why don't you put a freaking name or a handle so I know who the hell I'm talking to, okay? He writes, what initiated the shooting of a soldier is disputed. Disputed by who? You? But it was Cambodia that went full war mode with heavy weapons. They went large and couldn't handle it. Then they complained and mumbled about needing peace. That isn't in dispute. Yes, the ICJ decision is a joke. The French didn't honor the honor of the 1907 agreement, jointly mapped the border per the agreement, demonstrably made a major error by mapping using the 1 in 200,000 scale mapping, and the access to Prever here is only via Thailand. But the ICJ said that because Thailand didn't protest in time, it was consent. So if a girl didn't say no quick enough to sex forced on her, it's not rape, right? According to that messed up logic. That ruling is a joke. No, you're a fucking joke. You're a fucking idiot. How the hell do you try to justify your argument using a girl being raped? Are you fucking stupid? Cambodia didn't rape you. We didn't go rape your land like the way you did. Are you dumb? And I want you brothers and sisters to see this. When he said the ICJ is a joke, this is the narrative their whole government put on them. This is their truth. Because when they went to the ICJ, they lost in court. That's why they don't respect the world court. They don't respect the world history, because Thailand is above all history. They're always right. They're never wrong. Right, Thai? I'm always right. I'm never wrong. I'm a fight, defend. Yeah. You took in the L so many times that you had to change your name from Siam to Thailand so you can rebrand yourself. But you know what? The papaya still tastes the same with all that bullshit you put in it. Because using your logic, if that girl reported rape 50 years later, right? She can't just go around saying, I got raped. They raped me 50 years ago. They raped me. Right? It would sound stupid. We're gonna have to be like, okay, tell us what happened, and we gotta file a case. Let's see if there's anybody that's reporting the same case. That's what they would do. They would take it to the courts, correct? Wouldn't you do that? Right? And then, do we know where the perpetrator is, right? Do we know where the rapist is? Do you know who the rapist is? And now she has to defend. She has to back up her claim with facts. Do we have the DNA? Does she have a kid? We have to do all this process we have to go to in the court of law. And Ty, you should know this, right? Because you're always right. You went through the ICJ, you went through the process. You had to defend your claims. But you didn't do that. And now you're going to disrespect the French? The French who you couldn't defeat, who pushed you out of Cambodia. And then when the French left and they gave Cambodia their independence, Thailand, being a little weasel, gonna sneak back in. It's funny when the cat's away, the mouse come out to play. Because that's who Thai really is. They like to make deals on the back end. Right? Oh, let's join Japan. Because Japan is tough. They're scary. Like, let's join Japan. And then when Japan lost, oh, you took another L. Bad decisions. You can't stand up for yourself. Your whole history is just teaming up with somebody else. And then you want Cambodians to be thankful that you took them in as refugees, right? That's what your history tells you. But your history doesn't tell you that the United States funded it. And you only did that because the world was watching. The Red Cross, the UN, the world was watching. And then you want to talk about human shields. Where did you put the Cambodians? On your border? Because why? You were afraid of the Vietnamese. So you want to talk about human shields? What were you doing? Thais are jokes, man. Okay, let's move on to the white phosphorus. I want to show you a video, just so we have a little bit of history. And even though this is a different type of bomb, but I want you to see the effects of when planes fly and drop bombs, okay? Here we go.
Conventional bombs demand pinpoint accuracy. But targeting by sight is tricky. Americans often drop several bombs and hope one hits the mark. During the Battle of Tinian, officers gather on Saipan to watch this film. It shows the field testing of a new type of weapon. It's called napalm, a combustible mixture of sticky gel and fuel designed to spread and burn. Americans have no problem using fire. It's already pouring out of flamethrowers and tanks. But this is a whole new level of destruction. Now, an airplane can become a dragon. With one breath, it can set a bridge ablaze, set water on fire, or turn a field of green earth into a lifeless, charred dead zone where no one can hide. After watching this film, the brass on Saipan don't hesitate. They order 8,500 pounds of it. Inside of a year.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the video right there. Some takeaways. So when you drop a bomb, I imagine it's not like those little missiles that you just hit this target and it just flies there. So when the plane drops the bomb, right, they're flying, and these bombs, they do so much damage, right? So when the Thai say we were hitting military targets, that's fine, but bombs, they spread, okay? And you see the napalm, right? We don't use napalm no more because it's a dirty bomb. If that residue gets on you, it literally burns you. Can you imagine that? It just back then, wars were just people. Oh man, people didn't like value the other human life. It was like if you weren't us, then you're just like not even an animal, right? And just the war was so crazy back then. And now I'm gonna show you a video, this other video.
In March 2021, the International Criminal Court launched an investigation into alleged Israeli war crimes in the occupied Palestinian territories. The court is set to investigate crimes committed since 2014, during Israel's last major offensive on Gaza. Despite the recent ceasefire, Israel continues its internationally illegal siege of East Jerusalem, the West Bank, and a 14-year-long siege of Gaza. So let's take a look at one of the worst crimes committed by Israel during its recurring military campaigns in Gaza. Look at this picture. It's from Israel's attacks on Gaza in 2008-2009, available on the BBC. Look at this footage from the same year. Do you see the white smoke? White phosphorus gas is used to produce smoke for concealing troop movements, but it can also be used directly against civilians. The UN and Human Rights Watch had said that Israel was using artillery shells with white phosphorus gas, targeting densely civilian populated areas. Israel itself even admitted to using white phosphorus, but had said, quote, it was a small amount and that it was a small amount removed from active duty soon. Under international law, it is illegal to use white phosphorus during war. The reason being,
illegal.
Its effects can be devastating. If white phosphorus lands on your skin, it can melt through to the bone in seconds.
Wow.
Phosphorus poisoning can also occur from the release of toxic phosphoric acid into wounds. A protocol of the 1980 Convention on Conventional Weapons bans the use of white phosphorus as an incendiary weapon against civilian populations, or in air attacks against enemy forces in civilian areas. White phosphorus has been used in the past during World War I and World War II. It was also used by the US in Korea, Vietnam, and Iraq, by Russia during the First and Second Chechen War, and has been used by the British Army in Argentina.
Okay, now we have a little context. And just like napalm was, in my opinion, and I'm not an expert in bombs and missiles, but napalm was 10 times worse. If this chemical falls on you, right? Like the video said, it will burn to the bone. And it was used heavily in Vietnam because the Vietnamese soldiers were in the jungle. So when they bomb, it's gonna spread, right? These kind of like a water hose. When you spray them there, you got these little sprinkles. They're gonna spread, and their goal was to clear land or burn the enemy on sight. And that's what the Thais were trying to do. When they say they hit a military, they only hit military targets, right? That's not true. They're trying to do two things. They're trying to clear as much land as possible and burn or kill as much soldiers as possible. They chose to use this weapon, mind you. And some may argue, Cambodia shouldn't fire those rockets. When you're in war, it's never fair, correct? Right? Thai say we use rockets, but then they use bombs with white phosphorus, right? And what did Thais expect that was gonna happen? They thought provoking Cambodia into the skirmish, and they think Cambodia was just gonna throw papaya and mango and sticky rice at them? Is that what they thought was gonna happen? So when the rockets came on Cambodian side, it really surprised Thais. They weren't ready for it because remember, they never fought a modern day war. Like they never had bombs dropped on them. I never had bombs dropped on me. I would be scared shit if I just heard bombs falling from the sky. I would be scared. Cambodia has a long history of being bombed at. The Americans bombed them, and now Thai. Good job, Thai. Do better. This next article is from the Khmer Times, August 21st. Cambodia condemns Thailand use of white phosphorus. And then Thailand at that time denied it, right? They denied it. And in this article, I'm just going to read a couple paragraphs. Article 2.2, the Chemical Weapons Convention, CWC, states that the chemicals per se is not a chemical weapon, thus allowing it to be used for military purposes such as to produce illumination. So they're giving you the background. However, deliberately using it as an incendiary weapon directly against humans in a civilian setting is prohibited. Okay? And there's more on that. Okay. And this article is from the Thailand nation. The Royal Thai Army has clarified that white phosphorus munitions are not chemical weapons, following the dissemination of distorted information by Cambodia. You see how they want to deflect it? Distorted information. So there's some truth in it, but because they put the word distorted, it kind of like protects them a little bit, right? On August 19, 2025, Major General Winati Servari, Army spokesperson, clarified that the case where Hang Ratana, the Director General of Cambodia Mine Action Center, disseminated information claiming that the CMAC experts discovered 155 millimeter artillery ammunition contained white phosphorus in the Manche province, while alleging that the shells resulted from the Thai Royal Army firing during the 5-day conflict. Okay? And to defend that, I'm gonna show you a picture. It says white phosphorus munitions aren't chemical weapons, says Thailand. Aren't. And then the Thai Inquirer, later down the road, Thai Army changes tune because now they got caught. They're in trouble, and they're thinking ahead, right? Oh shit, we gotta. They're gonna take us to court, right? They know the laws. I'm sure every military in this day and age knows the laws, the rules of engagement, what can or cannot be used. I'm pretty sure. I'm not an expert in that. So The Thai Inquirer writes, Thai army admits using white phosphorus in Cambodian clashes, insists it's not a chemical weapon. So at first they want to say that they didn't use it and it's not a chemical weapon. Now they're admitting I'm using it, but it's still not a chemical weapon, right? After admitting the use of cluster munitions, remember, because they said they didn't use it, but now they're admitting, because those bombs have IDs on them. They probably have some kind of barcode or some kind of serial number that you can trace back and to when they bought it, who they bought it from. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. If you guys know more about that, friends and family, please write the comment below. So after they admitted during the 5-day clash with Cambodia between July 24th and 28th, the Thai army has now admitted it also used white phosphorus shells in the fighting, but maintains that white phosphorus is not a chemical weapon. Okay? Now, then I went to the WHO, World Health Organization website, and I looked up white phosphorus because, you know, I don't want to assume. I don't know. I'm not an expert in it, so, but we have the internet and we can research. So here are some key facts of white phosphorus. White phosphorus is a chemical, waxy, solid substance, typically appearing yellowish, colorless, and some have described its odor as resembling garlic. So when they fired it and it hit civilians and it hit Cambodian soldiers, they were complaining because they can smell it, but they were burning, right? It hit their skin and they're like, oh, what the hell is this? It ignites instantly upon contact with oxygen. Now, white phosphorus by itself isn't dangerous, but when you mix it with other chemicals and other agents, it becomes dangerous. You understand, Ty? You understand? So you like to give one-sided answers to defend why, but you don't give the whole truth. So once ignited, white phosphorus is very difficult to extinguish, kind of like napalm. Once it gets going, it just doesn't stop, right? It sticks to surfaces like skin and clothing. And I bet you when the Thais found out that we caught them using this, they try to deflect again, right? Now they're admitting, yeah, we did use it, but we didn't use it for that. We only used it for military targets. Remember, you saw those planes. That's why I showed you the first video. When you drop a bomb, you see how it spreads? It's gonna spread into civilian populated areas. Okay? White phosphorus is harmful to humans by all routes of exposure. From the smoke, the burning of the phosphorus, it is also harmful to the eyes and respiratory tract due to the presence of phosphoric acid and phosphine. So this chemical thing is really bad. And Thai decided to use it on a skirmish on a country that has no business of invading them. So then they want to talk about using powerful weapons. You're the one with the planes. You're the one dropping bombs. You're the one with the full military. And then you're going to say Cambodia invaded you? No, they surprised you. That's what they did. You thought they were going to throw mangoes, papaya, and some sticky rice. And then they hit you with some rock and you're like, oh my God. And in a panic, you sent the freaking F-16s and then the Swedish airplanes. And I'm gonna read, and it's a good read, guys. If you guys want to read the full article, just go to the World Health Organization and just put white phosphorus. And I'm just gonna read the international treaties and agreements that they write. White phosphorus is not a chemical weapon under the Chemical Weapons Convention, as it acts as an incendiary agent. That's what they said, right? Incendiary agent, and is not through its chemical action process. The use of white phosphorus may violate Protocol 3, the use of incendiary weapons of the convention, certain conventional weapons in one specific instance, if it's used on purpose as an incendiary weapon directly against humans in a civilian setting. I can't even read right now. I need my glasses. Other uses of white phosphorus, such as illuminating a battlefield, are not prohibited. To establish an illegal use under the CCCW, an investigation into the intent behind the use of white phosphorus would be needed, which exceeds the mandate of, yeah. So, when Thai chose to use it, they know what they were doing. Like, to think that you're gonna use these bombs and they can say, oh, well, it's to illuminate the sky. Yeah, but the things that fall onto the people, right? And it gets complicated, guys, because again, this is why we have to collect evidence. They have the bombs, they have the clothing, they have, and then we have to make a case, right? And Thais are going to have to defend it, right? But as the war goes on, these things get pushed back. And if it was me, do I think they should be responsible and they should get responsible and they should be accountable for it? Of course, 100%, because they manufactured a war on landmines. Remember that. They crossed to Cambodians and stepped on the landmines, and they used that as rocket fuel to fight Cambodia, because they want Cambodia to defend, so they can say, well, we're defending our sovereignty. Every damn country says the same thing when they go to war. Yes, we know you have the right to defend, but it's how you did it, Thai. You kept pushing and bullying to get them to fight you, because deep inside, you know you're bigger, you're stronger. The world sees your bullshit. All for what? Because your government is imploding? Your government's falling apart? And then Thais are gonna come tell me they have democracy? You don't have democracy. All the PMs, all those little, whatever titles they give these people, they're a joke. They have no authority. If a commander speaks, I would listen to him 100%, because I can't listen to anybody else. And then Thai's gonna come try to defend. You don't even know your history. How are you gonna try to teach us ours? Right? There's a reason why they're spending so much money in their own military. There's a reason, and I told you that in the last vlog. Because they have enemies all over. They can't go to sleep. Every border they have is an enemy. They have history with them. And believe me when I say that their government's falling apart. The government needs money. When they drop those bombs aren't cheap. All those missiles, all those rounds, they're not cheap. And they use this as a distraction to get Thais to focus on one thing while they're doing other things behind the scenes. And you don't have to believe me, Thai. It's all good. Time will tell. So keep coming to this channel and defend. Because you don't have history behind you. None. And when people do research, they're going to see you for who you really are. You might as well change your name from Thailand to something else and try again. Or just change it back to Siam. Because that's who you really are, Siamese, right? Taking L's, and then you try to change it to Thailand, rebrand yourself. But the papaya salad, it tastes the same. It still has bullshit in it. I hope, brothers and sisters, you're able to get a like an idea of like war, you know, why they used weapons, why they dropped those bombs, how severe the burn is. It blew my mind. Just the thought of napalm, because I remember watching footage in the Vietnam War where when they dropped the bomb, the explosion, you know, it has a radius, right? It's gonna spread. It hit people and it stuck to this one girl's arm, and there's a famous photo, and it just burnt her. Like, war is a dirty business, and the people suffer. And this is why I always chose the side of peace. Because I have love for humanity. I have love for people. I wish Thais had that, but they don't. They were taught hate since the day they were born. And it shows. You go to any comment section, it freaking shows. And then there's the other Thais who really don't have a voice. Because if they speak up, they get attacked. They're not safe in their country. Foreigners, you're not safe in Thailand. Look at all those videos of foreigners getting beat up, hurt. You're not safe. Thailand's not safe. No one wants to do business in Thailand. They can't be trusted. They have no stability. And I'm gonna leave you guys with that. And I want to thank each and every one of you for liking and subscribing. Brothers and sisters, you guys are the real MVPs. Stand tall. Stand tall. We are united more than ever before, all around the world. Don't let them try to confuse you, because that's what they're good at doing. Deflecting. They got no facts. Come here with your emotions and letting your bias cloud your vision. We stand tall. We stand tall. And we stand for peace. Have a good one, guys.